Okay. All right. It's been a while since I've done a study like this, so I thought I can just do one here and do it together. I've been playing Expedition 33 quite a bit recently, so I just wanted to do something with that. I just wanted to do a study of the character and see if I can replicate it. I really like the designs and a lot of the art direction in this game, so I thought why not do something like that today. I haven't really done portrait studies in a long time, so this will be interesting to see how I can do it. Usually I like to start with the Loomis method. The Loomis method has a lot of rules that are easy to follow, where the eyebrow goes, where the eyes and nose and mouth goes. So that's why I really like doing it this way. But yeah. Essentially, usually what you do with Loomis method, you draw a circle, divide by half, then you cut the edges, and then you have another line for where the bottom of the nose goes, and then the same distance here you add here. And that's where the bottom of the chin goes. So I start like that, and then we can adjust based on the character. And in this case, this is kind of looking at us straight. It has a bit of an angle, so we can do that. Is the chat not available? Not sure why chat is not available. Oh, there we go. Okay. Sorry, I was just trying to fix the chat in case. Okay, so the jaw lines here, pretty dominant and clear. Eyebrows here. The head. Okay. Bring this down a bit. New layer. Try that again. Goes this way. And up. And now it's here. Zoom in. We got the eyebrows. nose. So I try to zoom out as much as I can. And then only zoom in later. And also flip the canvas quite often. That also helps a lot. Okay, and then we got this. Okay, now the eyes. I always try and add these guidelines for myself. And then find it easier to draw things. So for the eyes, I'm drawing like a ball for the eye, and then the eyelids go on top. Bottom. Oh, let's look at the other reference. From what I can see, we'll see how it ends up looking like. Okay. This top is also very close. Okay. Then we got mouth here, and then we got the chin here. So the mouth. The mouth looks off. Maybe fix that. Do the hair. Okay. Other part of the hair goes down. Okay. This is looking a bit weird. We can see why soon. Okay. All right. mouth down a bit, I think. Needs to be small. Mm-hmm. Okay. So that was practice 1. You can maybe add a little bit of light and shadow. Then it may look a little bit better. Okay, so that was study number 1. Maybe let's call it warm-up. Let's do the next one. Do this one. And we can see how it goes. Maybe we can do another one. Okay, so this is, the angle is a little bit more difficult. Got this. Okay. And the other part of the hair here. Yeah, there we go. This angle is a bit tough. So let's see what we can do. Okay. For now, maybe this is good. And then we can fix it after. Should be here. Here. Okay. So the eyebrows go there. The angles. This should be here. Can't really see the eye well. Okay. Nose. Well, let's do the nose. Goes up. We can bring it here. Oh man, the nose. I picked maybe a tough angle to work with. This angle is hard not to make it like pig nose, I guess. But we can try. Okay, I think the nose is too high. Let's bring it lower. It's better. And now the eyes. That's where the eyes will go. See, the bottom eyelid here is almost straight. Still feel like the nose is too high. Let's bring it lower. That's better. It's a mess when I'm drawing first, because then I just merge everything and start adding light and shadow, and that's when all that sketch lines, everything disappears. eye. Also almost a straight line for the bottom eyelid. Before it tries to go up, but then the hair is on top of it. So you can't really see it do that. There we go. That's better. Okay, I think this study is turning out a little bit better than the other one. Now the mouth. Mouth is a bit tricky with it open like that. We don't want to make it look too freaky with the teeth. Okay, so facial expressions are also something that we need to practice. They're not easy. We don't have the practice, and I don't really practice them that much. So let's see how this goes. Right. We got the teeth going like this. It's pretty black here. I feel like the jawline is way too big. Let's bring it back. Let's dial it down a bit. Shadow here. This eye needs to just be a little bit bigger. Okay. Okay, so now let's do a little bit of the close. Okay, and this side, this comes here. So I outline the big shapes first, and then I start adding details afterwards as much as I can. On like that. This also comes more in. Belt here. I think the mouth maybe is a bit too big. Yeah, definitely. Let's bring it down. I think that's better. Let's see. Rotate it. I think that's better. You can start rendering it or adding a bit of light and shadow. That's where it would become better. Before we do that, let's try and add a bit more details here. I think this should be here. This should be here. Not like that. Okay, and then this comes here. This is where the arm is. Okay, I feel like this whole thing needs to be shifted up. Okay. And here we had that. Here we have this comes here like this. This goes here like that. Comes here. All right. So I want to start a bit of light and shadow to it. Okay. Let's lock this layer. First, let's add some local values. The hair is dark. Also dark. Some basic shadows. This is turning out to be more difficult than I thought. Okay. Okay, now let's do one more. A little bit better, but not great. Now let's do this one. Maybe this one will turn out to be the best. Yeah, doing portrait studies is something I haven't done in a long time. I've been focused so much on figure drawing that I haven't really done portrait studies, and I feel like I almost forgot. So it's time to practice it again. Okay. Okay. times the charm, maybe. See how this goes. Okay. Eyebrows. Eyes go here. Thanks. Saying portrait drawings has been something that I haven't been practicing, so it's been a bit of a challenge getting back into portrait drawings and trying to get it the right way. Like when I want to do portrait drawings and I don't care that it needs to be exactly the same, I can draw. But now that I know I want to do the likeness of the character, it's a bit of a challenge because I haven't practiced in a long time. Kind of smooth. So the way I do it with layers really is like the first layer I usually just do like rough sketch. Of course, as you do more practice, you might change that approach, but it's good to see like the first layer that you do just rough, so you don't care if it's messy or whatever, and then as you add more, as you get more comfortable, you can, or you want to make it more, refine it more, you can reduce the opacity, create another layer and just go on top of it and do that. That's kind of how I do it. There's obviously a lot of layers when it comes to multiply layer, overlay layer, and all that stuff. But I find myself that most of the time I just stick to just regular, and then at the end I just add the different multiply layer or overlay layer to make adjustments generally. But I like to just, and maybe that's because I don't understand all these layer modes as much as I should. So, but everybody's different. Some people just say, oh, just do all your shadows on a multiply layer. Just create your drawing and then choose like a bluish or cool color on a multiply mode and then just add all your shadows that way. I don't do it that way because I feel like I want to have more control on what I want to do exactly rather than just use a multiply layer. But that's just me. Everybody's of course different, and all methods work. There's no really one real method. So you can just experiment until you get comfortable with what you like. I feel like it needs to come in more. Okay. Again, I think the nose is too high. Bring it down. But essentially for portrait drawings, the way I think about it is the Andrew Loomis method. you're looking at it straight on, divide this circle by half, and then come down here. So essentially this is 1/3, this is 1/3, and this is 1/3. So it's evenly spaced. This is where the eyebrows go. This is the bottom of the nose. This is the chin. And then when you come here, you can do it again. Thirds, thirds, thirds. You got the mouth and the chin. Kind of goes like that. Okay. Yeah, so the purpose of all of that stuff, I use that stuff a lot, and I will demonstrate here now in a bit why I use clipping mask or alpha lock layers. It's essentially to just not worry too much about going outside what I drew and just stick to it. So essentially when I'm here, what I do is at the end, once my drawing is complete, or yeah, then I just select, I just add that. So then I can either lock this layer and start adding light and shadow. For example, I can add like light here, or start kind of adding light and shadow. Or I can just add a clipping mask, clip it, and then do the same thing, where this way, if I draw here, I'll never get out of it, right? Same with the lock. They do the same thing. But usually that's after I finish the sketch phase or the drawing phase, and I'll get to that. Usually I don't like doing clean line art. So once the sketch is at a decent stage, I just move to adding light and shadow. So I think this is turning out to be better than the other ones. Have the hair, the ears here. Yeah. Same on the other side. And then we got this side here. Okay. Get this. And go like this almost. Okay. Bring it down, bring it down. right, so then we have this part. Comes down here, goes back up. It's there. Got the arm here. Okay. This part here comes down. Similar idea. Okay. Start rendering it now. Or add light and shadow, I mean. See how that goes. I think the whole thing is a bit too wide. Let's go like that. Maybe this part is too wide. Okay, so now if we go to create a layer underneath my sketch layer, the head is too small, I feel like. The hair, I mean. And then the head is too long also. Squish it a bit. Okay, so now we have another layer. We can go grayscale or we can just add color directly. For now, we can do this. And we can lock it, what we were saying, the lock function. So now if I come and start adding basic light and shadow shapes to it, what I like to do is go a little bit more towards the red, darker, and then start adding. I use the soft airbrush. You don't have to. You can use a hard brown brush as well for this stage, but that's what I like to do. Just add the basic light and shadow shapes. And then I can add more stuff to it afterwards. Okay, we can go now a lighter one, more towards the yellow. So simply just like that, and then I can just go add more detail. But let's do the same for everything else. So what I like to do, yeah, select everything here. And even the hair. Start adding colors so we know here is the same. Go white. Then we have the red for here. We got the black. Okay. Underneath here is also. What I like to do, oh, and then the hair is orange. Got the ears here. Go back to the hair. So what I like to do now is blend all these layers. So I do Control J to make a copy, and then Control E to merge it. And then we can just work on this one with all the layers merged. So this way, when I'm rendering now, the sketch lines go away as well. So I can alpha lock it. I can I don't have to really zoom in, but just add here. Let's alpha lock it now. And I can start rendering. So I just color pick all the time because I have already kind of added. One thing that I think is important we can do right now and go to overlay mode. This is one thing that I do because skin has color variations, and one easy thing to do is where you have light and shadow, you go really saturated red and just add that. The nose also usually has some red here. So it helps give, and then the bottom, you can also go a bit more blue. And we can merge those and then start rendering again. And I try my best not to zoom in unless I have to. The reason is we zoom in too soon, we'll be wasting a lot of time trying to figure things out when it's not necessary. And that always zoom in later, but try not to zoom in now. Thank you. Yeah, I do have my Discord. I try and make it active, so please post your drawings there, your questions. We can trying to build a community where we can learn from each other. The link is in the description. I think it's hard when we're trying to learn alone, but if we can build a community where we can learn from each other, that'll be really makes it more fun, makes it easier. A lot of times we think we can do everything alone, but we just ask simple questions sometimes can save us a lot of time and we can improve a lot faster. Happier with this one than the other two that I did. Coming back to me. Practice, practice, practice. There we go. Backlit here. Pretty yellow. It's pretty saturated. Like sunlight hitting it. It's pretty red, that transition. Tone it down a bit. Oh, under the nose. Also, there's shadow. Darker. Okay. Let's do the lips. I think that's good color. Let's go hard edge first. Define it a little bit better. Top lip usually is in the shadow, so it should be darker. And then the bottom lip gets the light. So that one should be a bit lighter. It needs to be more this color. Yeah. Bottom lip, especially on the edges here, sometimes it's soft, not always hard edge. Lips are interesting because it has lots of soft and hard edges, so it's good to play around with it so you figure out okay. There we go. Let's add some highlights. Okay. There. The eyes. Eyes are never truly white. Always a little bit of color to it. A hard edge. Start with hard edge and then we can add Okay, so now there is a bit of red here. The one thing that I like to do with eyes, and we see it here, is that the light, we can zoom in for this. The light catches the bottom eyelid. We can go darker one. Then we can go back to my soft brush. Okay. And let's do the eyes. It's like greenish. Sometimes I like to do the eyes separate layer first. Thank you. It's taking time, but I think I needed to warm up after the first two. First two were warm-ups. Hasn't been a while since I've done portraits. So this one is coming out much, much better. Okay. Dark for the center. Then we go light. Dark. We got the highlight right here. Another one right here. Maybe lighter. Okay. Merge them. And then let's fix the eyes now. Red. Here. I'm gonna fix this liquefy mode. This eye. Flip canvas always. This needs a bit more white. Back here should come down. Let's come here. Some eyelashes. The thing that I like to do with eyelashes also is add a bit of light into them. Let's see here. Let's flip it again. Let's see what can we do to make it better. I feel like this needs to come in a little bit more. Maybe. It was good before. The lips are too big. Let's just top of it. Okay. Maybe we need to stop soon, in the next 5 minutes. So we can just do quickly the eyebrows. Let's do the hair. And then we can stop after. Let's go dark. So hair can also be difficult if we try and draw every single hair strand, but if we think about it as light and shadow shapes, big shapes, becomes easier to do. So we can see here, we got shadow shapes here. And then we can add light to it afterwards. Right, so now if we go light, it's generally darker this side, so keep it dark and add a little bit of light. We can see the top has some light. So light here again. Really dark in the center, even here. And then I can just go add some individual hair strands to add detail like that. When some areas are much darker, we can even Add that, imply, form, and shape. Do the same here. And there we go. So I gotta stop here for now. I think this was a good study. Weren't able to finish the whole thing. Obviously the face still has, can still go on and continue rendering more and more and more. But I think this was good. I think the first two, maybe not so much. Let's look at them again. Group those. Oh no. This was the first one. No, this was the first one here. Okay, not bad. Or this was the first one. I think if we spend more time, actually now looking back at it, not so bad, but spend more time on it, maybe we would have gotten somewhere. This was the second one. And then we ended up with the third one, which was this one here. Right. Well, thank you very much and see you in the next one.